Thank you, Judy. That was beautiful. Nice to come into that. Good morning, everyone. Glad you're here. Now, I suspect there's a few mothers that are out having brunch instead of being here, but that's okay. We love them all. And happy Mother's Day to you. If you're new with us today, we have a blue welcome packet on the back wall that has a lot of information in it about the center and what we do. And of course, if you look at the calendar, you go, holy cow, there's a lot going on here every month. And that's really true. A lot of ways to inspire you, to enrich you. And that is what we do. Inspire, empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. And I think we really excel at that. Well, we're opening with music by Gwen Rooker and Judy. Gwen is our choir director, and I think you're going to really love her music.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you for the introduction. It's wonderful to be with you here today. Happy Mother's Day.
It
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Judy, the two of you just work so well together. They were playing before, and it was just so much fun to see how you work together. It was great. Well, my name's Mary Mitchell. It's Reverend Dr. Mary Mitchell. Anyway, I'm one of the ministers here and also a practitioner, and I welcome you and invite you to pick up the welcome packet. But if you have any questions about what we do here, I'm here to answer, and Christine's here also as a practitioner. So if you would like some prayer after service, we're here to serve you in that way too. And we're going to invite the children up. How many children do we have? A couple, yay! And as we invite them up, when we sing the song to them, then turn around and wave at the camera a little bit. Lindy's going to move it around so all the people around the world who are watching us this morning will be, oh, there's Janet. Oh, there's Jim. Oh, look. Oh.
We're actually shifting from singing "You Are the Face of God." The children, we were recognizing a lot of times they would come up here and go. And so we're trying to honor their feelings. So I think we actually were singing it to our own inner child and ourselves. So we're inviting all the parents and grandparents when your children come to take them right on out to the cottage so they have a full experience and don't have to go through that trauma and have counseling later on. So, precious ones, you are the face of God, and you can go enjoy your day in Sunday school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, I can relate standing up here looking at them, and they're just like, what do I look at? What do I do? So cute. But, when Charlotte Garland brought her grandson and granddaughter, the grandson would turn to his sister and do the whole thing, looking at her in the eye. Talk about tears. It was so beautiful, and she was so sweet to just accept it. My brother, I'm the face of God. Anyway, I digress. All right. I would like to thank everyone who came early and has been greeting, and people in the kitchen cookies, and Judy and Gwen. So appreciate you. So appreciate you. All right. If you have a cell phone, if you would turn it on airplane mode, that would be really nice. And we have a few announcements, but first of all, I'd like to invite Diana Wolstead up. Diana, I don't know how many steps you walked these last couple of days, but it had to be tens of thousands.
Well, I humbly stand up here today to honor the incredible community we have and all the amazing volunteers of the core group that pulled off the largest rummage sale we've ever had. I also extend my gratitude to those who donated items to be put in the rummage sale, otherwise we would not have had it. It almost brings tears to my eyes to see this community come together, a lot of us in our 70s, and execute something as difficult as setting up a Macy's in 1 week. We work together, we bless each other, we laugh a lot, we scrap a little bit, we get tender, we make up, we kiss, we hug, and we raised over $10,000 for our community. Yeah. So we all take our sore feet and our tender fingers from putting little jewelry on boards, and the men go home and soak their muscles after loading heavy furniture 2 or 3 times, and we are just so lucky to have our community. So anyway, thank you.
That's just amazing, Diana, just amazing. I spent Friday morning and Saturday morning with Sally being a cashier. Love working with her, and we have a lot of laughters. But this year, Janet Bazzini, She kept bringing me things that she thought wouldn't sell that maybe I would like. Do you have something else? Okay. Oh.
Okay. Last week for the Holistic Fair was the first time we ever used Venmo. We have a QR code that's hooked into our community, and people who come in here, particularly young people who don't carry cash but want to buy things, have it on their phone. And there was much resistance to using that yesterday and the day before, but we all broke through the barrier, and it was over $425 worth of additional sales with our Venmo QR.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so anyway, wow.
It was amazing watching them just hold their phone and then go, choo, 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 okay. It's like, okay, did it really show up on our checking account, you know? So anyway, one of the things Janet brought me, and I bought 5 different things, I'm sorry, and it was rolled in a tube. I said, what is it? Do you want to buy this? What is it? Oh, it's a Van Gogh print. Van Gogh, I don't really care for his stuff. But she was so sweet. How much do you want for it? $5. Okay, here's $5. I'll buy the Van Gogh. Took it home and opened it up. And it's an okay print. It's dead trees. Well, it's trees in the winter, and they're birch trees, and it's really not very pretty. And I thought, well, for $5, what's it really worth? So I went online for 2 hours, and 4 years ago, that print and 3 of his others sold for $161 million. So I thought, okay, rolled the dice here. And so I went for the print, and I found them in 2 places. One for $25 and one for, what was it? It was $15.75. And I thought, hey, I tripled my investment. $5, 15, that was really good. Anyway, it was fun. Okay. So we're going to have I didn't do that. Okay. We're having an open mic night again, Friday, May 23rd. And Phoebe, she talked last Sunday, but she's having her sharing stories from Nepal. I bet that's very fascinating. Saturday, May 17th, 6 to 8 in the evening. And Soar on Saturday, May 24th is going to the McLeod Mushroom Festival. And I have heard that's really great. I hope I can go to that. And let's see what else is fun here. The book club with Robin Backstrom. The book is The Future Human, New Ways Living and Being on Earth. And it's an unprecedented look at evolution and the planetary evolution. So if you're interested in that, you won't want to miss her book club. And it's Monday, starting May 12th, 2 to 4 p.m. And today after service, I'll be doing the Essence of Science of Mind. It's an hour-long class from about 11:15 to 12:15, and it's sharing the history of the center and what we believe, and a good time to ask questions. And if at one point you want to be a member of the center, this is one little class, and then next month I'll do a membership class explaining what membership's all about. Tomorrow at the Civic Auditorium is Project Homeless Connection, and we'll have a booster table there, and with shoes and socks and all kinds of things for the homeless. But we need people to come and help because it's from 9 to 2. Okay, good, got that. So I'll be there too and help, and if any of you can come even for an hour. These people, when they get a pair of shoes and you look at what they're wearing, they are so intensely grateful. And then to get a pair of socks, that's like icing on the cake. So join us. It's really a wonderful experience. Sacred Sisters is meeting Monday, May 12th, 7 to 8. Muscles of the Soul, and it says, you're returning to the theme of butterflies for your conversation that month. Oh, that should be fun. Then the men's group meets Monday, May 12th, 7 to 9. So that's what's going on. All right, we're going to have a reading by Lori, and then we'll invite the bell 3 times, and that is the time to take in the words that Lori's going to share with you and how it really feels in your heart. And then I'll come and do a spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer.
This morning's reading for Mother's Day, chosen by Reverend Sue, is adapted from the poem For a Mother by John O'Donohue. Mother, your voice learning to soothe me, your newborn was the first home sound I heard before I could see. Your young eyes gazing on me was the first mirror where I glimpsed what to be seen could mean. Mother, your nearness tilled the air, an umbilical garden for all the seeds of thought that stirred in my infant heart. You nurtured and fostered this space to root all my quietly gathering intensity that could grow nowhere else. Mother, from the depths beneath your heart, you know me from the inside out. No deeds or seas or others could ever erase that. Thank you, Mother, for my life.
There is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that has created everything. The world is, the universe is, the energy of the one. This is the one that created our mothers. And as we got to know our mothers, they were the perfect mothers for us. Over time, we see things so differently. But actually today, we're nurturing our connection with the one person that birthed us, created by the love of God. However it worked out, God was watching, loving. Our intuition was guiding us all the way to experience our relationship with Mother. In great thanks for God's gift to us, a mother that birthed us and loved us. We say thank you so much for the lessons learned, the experiences we've had up to this time in our life when now so many of us are not only mothers but grandmothers, knowing how precious grandmas are to all of us. It is a blessing to just know and be the best we can be. I release these words to the wind and the sun and the waves and everything that is moving in this universe that is full of God's love, knowing in the end it's all perfect and just full of God's love. And so it is. Reverend Sue. I know, I'm limping too.
I'm here, I made it. What a heck of a 2 weeks. Oh, Lori read that poem so beautifully, and when I'm tired, I have no control over laughing at people or crying. And I felt really bad yesterday because people were cleaning up in here and Christine was pulling a rack across, and I just kept watching her. She had this cute little ponytail, and these racks just kept going in front of me. And she just so serious, pushing her racks. And then she got kind of delayed over here, and then the rack started to fall apart. And the more she tried to fix it, the more it was falling apart, and she's just, her little ponytail's, fixing it really quick. And I just thought, it's so adorable. And she looks over at me, and I'm just laughing at her. And then a few minutes later, Roy walks across, and he trips on a plug. And I start laughing, and I thought, oh my God. He's going, I could sue, And I said, I know. But everything's just so funny. And then Susan pushing these piles of chairs, and she was just really, just in her zone, putting all these chairs back. And she hit the same thing that Roy tripped over. And I thought, oh, go home, Sue. Well, you still have some friends. This is not that funny. But you're laughing at them now. Oh, it really is. Every penny of that 10,000 we feel. But it is really moving, Diana. And I was thinking up here, I want a contest. I'm going to put a bowl out. You guys just have to guess how many steps she took in that 1 week. Did you tally them all? Yesterday it was, when she left here, 25,000 steps. I know. Isn't that amazing? I mean, my 500 and a GIMP was impressive to me, but anyway, so many precious moments. So many. Beyond the hard work is the love between one another, as Diana expressed so eloquently. These Kelly and Kim and Kathleen, the threesome, sitting back there for not just last week, but for weeks before, preparing that jewelry. A display you would see at Macy's. It just was so beautiful. And they laughed and chattered all week long. I looked at Diana, I says, what do they have to talk about still? You and I are here, but we're just mumbling at each other, but what a delight, what a delight. And Janet and Helen, what a team. Man, I bought more things. Janet, I was like, Janet, I'm up to 120. Stop bringing me these really cool things. But such a joy. And I'm really sorry for the men, how many times they moved the same piece of furniture. In, out, in, over to the dump, some of the things. So I could go on, and I think there's a talk here. We're going to be talking about nurturing healthy connections. And I know Mother's Day is something that is very precious. And I was telling Dr. Mary, I said, I like to focus on, I love being a mother and a grandmother, but I'm focusing on our mothers, our moms. Every one of us had one. Every one of us. So we dedicate this message today because of this idea of nurturing healthy connections begins with our mothers. And what I'm going to share with you is some advice from Sri Aurobindo. He is from India, and he has a beautiful ashram there called Auroville. And his wife was affectionately known as, in India, as the mother. As the mother. And one of the books I brought back when I had the Precious Life moment of going to India, I visited the ashram, and this was Mantras of the Mother. So what I'm sharing comes from this. It's a sweet little diary of her writings, her blessings. So I'm going to take you there first, because I recognize that all of us are imprinted by the deepest wisdoms of our mothers. Now, sometimes these messages were delivered so skillfully that we've never forgotten them, as were the other ones that came with the flavor of, I told you so. Those stick too, but it was all with an energy of trying to make us better humans and all of it nonetheless lives in us. So today, let us treasure the healthy connections that we did have with our mothers, as I read some of these blessings from the Mother of India. So when I read something that stirs the slightest memory in you, let it be a truth that you stick with long enough to feel it, for it's a message to you this morning. And I've selected the advice from this book, and I invite you, as I'm going through some of them, I'm going to relay them to you, and go within and think about your mother, the nurturing touches, the healing moments of empathy when you were knowing that you were heard and you were seen, the insights of empowerment when you were coached to just keep trying to be your best, and the moments of unconditional love that lives in the overall healthy parts of you. So that's the lead into this, and I invite you just to get settled into a space where this day is meant to be, to honor the mother. So it begins. Mother says, "We begin our relationships with our mother." It is quoted, "We are put on this earth for ourselves, but are placed here for each other. If you are there always for others, then in the time of need, someone will be there for you." And she writes, "My help is always with you, to help you progress and help you with your work. The difficulties you cannot overcome today will be overcome tomorrow or later on. With my blessings, Mother." The mother writes, "Be sure that I am always present among you to guide you and help you in your work and in your sadhana, that is your spiritual practices, with my blessings." And she writes, "Go on aspiring, and the necessary progress is bound to come. Go on aspiring. Let the consciousness work in you and through you, and everything will become all right. With my blessings, Mother." Whenever things become difficult, we must remain quiet, silent. At the hour of danger, a perfect quietness is required. With my blessings, Mother. A great joy is always deep in our heart, and always we can find it there. With trust in the divine grace, all obstacles can be surmounted. With my blessings, Mother. Steady efforts always bring great results. There's no end to progress, and every day one can learn to do better what one does. My child, let the divine presence be always with you. Take truth for your force. Take truth for your refuge. True strength is always peaceful. Whatever you do, always remember the divine. Everything must be transformed by the knowledge of the truth. Let the divine peace always reign in your heart and mind. The only important thing is to follow divine truth with love and joy. With a quiet mind and a peaceful heart, let us do our work happily. The storm is only at the surface of the sea. In the depths, all is quiet. Finally, contemplate the mirror of your heart, and you shall taste little by little a pure joy and an unmixed peace. Look, dear one, into the depths of your heart, and you shall see the divine presence. Foundational truths shared by the consciousness of this mother, allowing it a few moments to distill quietly into your own mind and heart. For when we have this same divine relationship that the Mother speaks of, with the divine within each and every one of us, with that deep knowing, with that deep, what's important here is that acceptance of this divine grace that lives in all of us. We penetrate that illusion that we've been carrying, that we are separate, that we are unworthy, that something's wrong. No. That same truth, which she speaks to over and over and over again, is within each and every one of us. And the Beatles told us this a while back. The love you take is equal to the love you make. So relationships, let's look at that. Whether with ourselves or another person or the world. We've been talking about that for a long time now. And they all form this foundational experience of our existence. And with life comes relationships. You know, if you're like me, I love those reels on Facebook. I'd like to get off Facebook, but I just love those reels. I'm addicted to the little dog ones and the cat ones and the little baby and child ones, where the child will just so instantly looks longingly and lovingly at their pet. And I just feel like there's so much truth there to just saturate ourselves with. So it's important to consider in these relationships also, what is the one you have with the most important person? Yourself. That's what I want to point to today, if you could go there with me. How do we feel about ourselves? Because truly this is what's influencing and determining how we react and how we're responding to everything else. So how we feel about ourselves is actually, as the Mother had told us, mirrored back to us in the relationships we surround ourselves with. On our sign out there, Charlie was recreating it today, and he said, I like to write, welcome to our loving community. See, every moment is so precious when we reconnect to why we write those words. It's not helpful. We know this. It's not helpful to not like yourself. If we aren't at ease with ourselves, then what happens all around us will cause us to complain and start to see everything wrong with them out there. But it all starts because it lives somewhere inside of us. And we will enjoy life more, and we will feel this gratitude for what we have. And if the going gets tough, we will have the spiritual reserve to remain peaceful. As the Mother said, deep within is that place of joy and deep inner calm. And we can perhaps even remain cheerful. But it begins with that important 2 words, know thyself. We can no longer afford to place blame on other people or on external things, because we know that that's the first sign that we are separating ourselves, and we're all in this life together on this planet. Being interconnected then reminds us that we are interdependent, interrelated, and equally involved. And this shared, what I love about this, the shared interdependence opens us to a shared humanity, and remembering that we can reconnect and we can nurture these connections to recognize our essential unity with each other and with the self. Now this, all that I'm sharing, is not asking us to melt down any sense of our own uniqueness, because we are absolutely complete. If you could hear that, you are complete in your own being, and also incredibly different from the person sitting next to you, and incredibly different, as we know, of those that are in the other category. We're different in how we think, how we act, how we feel, behave, and respond. Now let me just go back to the parking lot sale, how Diana described it so beautifully. There was love and laughter, and there was moments of bicker. But the bickering was so infrequent and attended to. That's what spiritual community does immediately, with understanding and kindness. So our moods, our temperaments, everything varies. Everything like that is unpredictable. We know that. It comes out through us. What we like and dislike, that precedes us. But all the while we're desiring relationships because we need one another. You might think that you're one that's better off far away. Take me to a cave in the Himalayas. Let me just tend to my sadhana there, my spiritual practice is there. Nobody will bother me and I won't get angry. Whew. That sounds like a nightmare to me, because ultimately one day you're going to have to come back and you're going to need somebody, whether it's the postman to mail a card for you to your mother. You can't stay away and hide forever. We need each other. And we find ourselves, our true selves, through our interactions with other beings. We're exposing these hidden tendencies of the shadow because we interact with others, and we are triggering other people just as they're triggering us. That's the interesting point here. We might think we're so special that we don't trigger anybody. Well, there's a lot to look at there. But it's all providing us this divine opportunity to find these valuable insights in ourselves and in one another. On one hand, remember, they can bring great joy, and they can also perplex us with deep concern. So Eddie Shapiro, he writes this book. I'm going to do a meditation with you from Clear Mind, Open Heart. But he writes this: if we are maintaining relationships that are unloving and unsupportive, even abusive, fearful, disrespectful, then such relationships will keep us in a state of separation and confusion. And where there is fear, there cannot be love. Where there is no love, the heart cannot be open. Healing is needed. Honest, caring, kind, respectful relationships with both ourselves and others give us the ground from which we can grow, and they create the space for our hearts to blossom. So let's return to the advice of the mother. It is our spiritual responsibility to know ourselves and get in touch with the grace of truth that already lives in us because we were born. And we know the one truth: love prevails. Just as so with getting into relationships with others, it's vital to our growth that we let go of our defenses and we become intimate with every aspect of knowing ourselves, to touch our feelings without turning away, to touch our experiences where we know, yes, we are vulnerable there. And I like this one: when we embarrass ourselves to ourselves. A wisdom from my own daughter. She spoke that in a conversation yesterday, but I thought, oh my, that's so true. How often have I embarrassed myself to myself? Right? It just says it all. And when we share our strength, but also we can share our strengths, but also be so tender. Be tender to your weaknesses, to those aspects within you that are triggering your fears and your irrational behavior, that cause you to shut down completely or curse yourself. You see, when we start succumbing or retreating, we're separating again from the divine self, from the self that we were born to be, because we are all one when we speak to this truth. And to nurture this beautiful connection with our relationships with ourselves, we have to get really close to who we are. We have to see ourselves for who we are. You think about this. We have abused and neglected ourselves more times than anyone else has. You think about that in those moments when you're disappointing in what you've done. When we get close to recognizing this, we want to turn away. I didn't do that. It was all their fault. Something like that. We want to run away. And that rejection just leads us more to shut down, wall off. But it's a call. There's something deeper. This is where the mother reminds us. She led us with the wisdom that the storm is only on the surface. Dive deeper to the waters of calm that live in each of us. We'll be invited to breathe deeper and enter into the self without our defenses up. Hallelujah. All we need to do is accept and acknowledge the many facets of who we are and hide from nothing. Those hidden demons that I speak of, they won't magically just disappear the moment they say boo. And you say, Sue said I don't have to follow you anymore. No. You turn to them and you befriend them and you speak to them and you hang around long enough for a conversation. So if you can get friendly and know them, you'll no longer fear them and they will no longer embarrass you. Because you're going to know who you are and that mother's wisdom lives in you. She says, be sure that I am always present among you. That I of the divine. I'm always with you, guide you, help you in your work. Go on aspiring, she reminds us, the necessary progress is bound to come. Let the consciousness work in you, through you, and everything will become all right. She reminds us whenever things become difficult, we must remain quiet and silent. At the hour of danger, that perfect quietness is required. And again, I repeat, she reminds us with her blessings, a great joy is always, always deep in your heart, and always, always we will find it there. So we take a breath. To know thyself is to meet thyself with a full heart of love. So we walk away today being genuine people. We start building our relationships with ourselves first, then with one another. And if someone is a dear friend that oddly triggers you at times, let it start there, to be the first one you nurture by giving it space and forgiveness as you would yourself. So as we know our own limitations, we're more respectful of other people as well. We're not trying to be perfect here, we're trying to be real. Take time this week to soul search what you feel, what you think. Try to know your beliefs and your own wisdoms so you don't feel like you always have to defend them. They just become you, they lead you, they inspire you, they live in you already. They're already there. Let it shine. You already trust this most loving, precious, intimate relationship you could have. It is yourself. So I'm going to ask you some questions before I close, and then I'll invite Judy up. But I want you to listen to your answers. And it can be tender, these answers. You're not sharing them with anybody but the self. Do I love myself? Do I care about myself? Do I express my own ideas, or do I feel it's not worth it to even try? Do I respect my feelings, or am I just trying to please others? Am I sincerely friendly to others, or do I expect them to be the friend first? What does it mean to be a friend to myself? Am I even comfortable with myself? Or have I spent a lifetime being way too critical? This concept of being intimate with yourselves brings up everything maybe that doesn't feel loving at first, but it's bringing up and revealing to you what needs to be healed. And when we can do this in our society today, we'll be so much more generous to others around us, to allow them to find their repressed feelings as well. There's nothing to fear here because it's all about turning to the light with a capital L. We all carry disguised feelings of feeling inadequate at times, insecure, shamed, fearful, locked in. There are moments, they might be fleeting, but they operate in us. We tend to them then with love. We tend to that with divine grace. And we know that key to all relationships is our good communication. So we're going to be kind and considerate to ourselves as we go within. We're not going to spend another inner breath condemning our pain body, our body fat, our big ears, our armpit fat, whatever it is. We're going to embrace whatever appears unembraceable. Can you do that? Are you up for that? Ooh, I so want to, don't you? We have each other. If our big ears are I just can't go there. The ears, I don't know if I can do that. But don't lie to yourself by simply murmuring a spiritual bypass affirmation when you really haven't faced yourself first and been truly loving. You know what it's like with a friend to have that love and respect. And those hidden resentments, those secrets that you're refusing to face will only dig in deeper until you have the power and the courage to love what is. To love what is. As you build trust in yourself, you're going to find yourself overcoming all the habits that you've created around hiding from this opportunity. So, Brené Brown, when we can let go of what other people think, and we can let go of our own story, we gain access to our worthiness. The feeling that we're not enough just as we are and that we are worthy, the feeling that we are enough just as we are and that we are worthy of love and belonging. We spend a lifetime trying to distance ourselves from the parts of our lives that don't fit with who we think we're supposed to be. We stand outside of our story and hustle for our worthiness by constantly performing, perfecting, pleasing, improving. Our sense of worthiness, that critically important piece that gives us access to love and belonging, lives inside of you. It just makes me weep. All these years of ministry, all this talking about loving the divine, honoring the divine. The key is right there at the altar of your heart. So I invite Judy up to play for us, and I invite you just to try a spiritual practice with this. This deep reflection leading to your own personal healing. The Mother's blessing already is upon us. The Mother's blessing, especially the part of the John O'Donohue poem that says, her eyes, the Mother's eyes, were the first eyes that looked upon you to tell you you are worthy of being here. So let us know this. Just simply relax into your breathing and listen to this music as you're led deeper within. And become aware of this person that lives in you. Meet this person, meet their physical nature. Meet your flesh, your bones, your blood, your organs, your toes, your fingers, your eyes, your hair, your ears. This is your body. This is your body, and how it's revealed to you. It's carrying your story. It shows up in your posture. It shows up in your shoulders. It shows up in your heart. This is the outer form. And you might want to keep trying to change it. Change the hair color, change the eyebrows, change the stomach. But it's you. It's you. And when you love yourselves to the very depth, this body will take on the shape, the form of this divine imprint of love and this perfection that already lives within you. Now you're also aware as you sit here, I have thoughts, I have feelings. Others have thoughts and feelings. But mine, right now, I recognize how many ways they have motivated me and given me my purpose. They've also overwhelmed me and confused me and isolated me. But I know in me, like everyone, I make mistakes. I'm not always getting everything right. Like me, I've attempted to live this life the best I can, but sometimes I have not been sensitive enough. I get angry. I get hurt, and I hurt others. I get rejected, and I reject others. I wobble, and I feel insecure. And in the unskillful, painful moments, I've lashed out. I've been weak at times, but all the while silently. I am aware of my weaknesses, and I am recognizing how similar I am to every other human being on this planet. We're all trying to make it work in this world. So now I'm looking more deeply. And I know I don't just have weak areas. I have great strength. I have great attributes. I love deeply. I care deeply. I want to help others. I have an amazing endurance and an inner fortitude. I'm working hard to get things right. And deep within me is compassion and kindness and gentleness, just as there is within all. Silently, silently, silently now I go to that depth of pure joy. And I acknowledge the strength and the love that meets me there. I am aware that this being I am is not just a physical being with thoughts and feelings, but there is a great divine spirit longing to be fully expressed in me, as me, through me. There's an energy stirring now and a light that's shining brighter. I'm not going to limit it to a name or a form or a color or a race or creed, an age or a personality. This unlimited, this nameless, formless, colorless, raceless, creedless, ageless, free of any identity, this pure essence lives in me. And that which is in me is in you, is in all. It is the Spirit of the One. It is the light. It is the answer. It is our way. It is the blessing from the Mother. Thank you.
Judy and I will share Let It Be with you now. Beautiful song by the Beatles evoking Great Mother and the compassionate one. And I invite you all, as you feel inspired, to join in. It's a song that we all know and have loved a long time. So let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, and let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Yeah, let it be, let it be, let it be, and let it be. Oh, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, and let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
All right, I'd like to invite the ushers forward, please. As we prepare to give our offering this morning, I know our hearts are filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for our spiritual well-being. We're filled with gratitude, knowing that our life stays in balance, for it is true, as I give, I receive, and so it is. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and those that come in during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
Gwen, that was a perfect message in your song, because that's the let it be, right? Let it be. Let that sing through you. So value your gift. And the two of you do make music together. The social hall is prepared there for you to enjoy this morning a little bit, and the bookstore is open, and the practitioners are available for prayer support. And I wanted to remind you, if you could sign up, there is a sign-up sheet that talks about the event tomorrow morning at the Civic. And there's just some slots there. Just put your name so we can expect that you will be there, so some of us can take a break that'll be there throughout the whole time. But thank you for being here today. This is a precious day, and we spent it together, and we shared it together, and we grew together. And I value that in so many ways. So have a beautiful day. Thank you. And now we're closing songs. Thank you. Thank you. We have a piece that Gwen is going to do, and then we'll join hands and sing Peace to the World.